we've seen too much and too much consistency as well too.
Yeah, that's kind of been the thing, right?
All right. For a minute there, I thought the titles didn't change for the live stream, so I had to double check. Anyway, hey everyone, it's been a while. I think the last time I did a live stream on gaming is before the quarantine started, which is in February. So it's been a good, let's see here, March, April, May. It's been a good 4 months since I did a live stream. So, yeah. It's been so long. So, for this round, we'll be live streaming both on YouTube and Twitch for now. You know, compared to the last time, you know, I tried streaming on multiple platforms. We're just limiting it to 2 at the moment, and then we'll sort out whether if we would be looking into other platforms. Probably doing Facebook in the next few moments, or you know, in the future. But for now, what I'm planning to do is we'll try to build up some more streaming schedule, most likely during the weekends. So that's what I'm planning to do. Anyway, as you can probably tell, as you can see, we are gonna be taking a look at Doki Doki Blue Skies. So this is their website. So it actually just came out this weekend. It's been pretty much on the radar for some. It's been, I can tell, and I've heard that this is one of the long-awaited mods to be publicly available, so now it's here. Will blue skies remain, or will the storm take over? So this is pretty much a much more expanded, you know, expanded story, should you say, on the Doki Doki Literature Club characters. Wouldn't say that it's a sequel, you know. Oh, by the way, for those who have played Doki Doki Literature Club, you probably know what kind of a game it is. For those who are not and are just happening to stumble along on this video, I don't know how. Just a little bit of fair warning. The original game is not intended for those who are easily disturbed. There are some themes of mostly, you know, there are some very depressing scenes in there. So this is going to be coming from someone who has experienced that phase. It's going to be heavy. Yeah. So those kinds of themes. So just a little bit of fair warning on that, if you don't know. So anyway, we're not playing that original game. You know, it's been out for 2 years already. So that's why we're playing a mod here. So this is going to be more like gravitating towards, you know, how Doki Doki Literature Club originally appears. More like a, you know, dating sim style. Well, I hope that would be the case. Hopefully we're not in for some surprises like we did with the original Literature Club. So there's gonna be 3 routes in this mod. There was, I believe, there was an original plan when it was first announced that it's gonna be 4 routes, which would include Monica, but recent developments appear that there has been some writing issues with doing that, so they decided to just go with the original 3, Sayori, Yuri, and Natsuki. So it says here there are going to be 20 plus hours of content. There's going to be good and bad endings, so typical for a dating sim, so something along those lines. And they're also going to be adding some new characters. This is, according to the developers, which is, according to the developers of this game, this is going to be heavily influenced by Karawa Shoujo. It actually says it here, it's heavily inspired. So for those who've also played that, you'll probably get some references in the style of the game. And yeah, the expectations here, it is going to be, you know, with dating sims, the common theme here is how the story unfolds depends on the choices that you make. So hopefully it's going to be along those lines. So that being said, let's not rush this any further, and let's go ahead and jump into the game right here. So we already have it booted up, and let's go ahead and just jump right in here. So once again, Doki Doki Blue Skies is a DDLC fan mod that is not affiliated with Team Salvato. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Alright? So, again, the original game does have some very sensitive themes. It's not meant... So, I'm going to put out this warning in a disclaimer. It's... The original game is pretty heavy. It has a very depressing theme. I'm not sure if we're going to have that same, you know, themes in this mod. It's gotta tackle those topics, you know, especially for dealing with one of the characters here. So of course, most notably Sayori here, as you probably guys know, if you played the original game. You know what? And I'm also gonna be discussing that. So I've gone through the original game. It is pretty heavy. So game files for the DDLC are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free over at Steam or through their website. And yep, let's do it. So lastly, this mod contains NSFW content, including nudity, which can be turned off in the settings. Considering that I'm live streaming right now, that would be a good idea to do. So let's take a look at the settings while we're doing that. So crop your fucking face. Alright. So actually an update, a patch just came out minutes before I started streaming. So I'm running on version 1.0.2. It had it addresses some bug fixes, so it would be a good idea to check on the Discord. They have a Discord on their YouTube channel. They also post updates on the community tab. So I do think that's the best place to check. But for now, let's go to some settings here. Yes, let's censor nudity here. I guess we're all good. I think that's all what we needed to do. Alright, let's jump right through it. What's this? This shouldn't be possible. Why am I here? How am I here? Did you bring me back? I don't see any other explanation. Why? We've already established that there's no happiness here, so why? Huh? Why can't I look at the script? Something's wrong. You didn't do anything, did you? Don't you understand? Are you trying to mess things up even more? How did you... Wait. I know. You installed a mod, haven't you? Of course. Few minutes in and we're still meta. Well, we kind of know that already. So yeah. That's why everything has been changed. Don't you think it's time to let us all go? What? You want everything to be like how it should have been? But... you will care about them, don't you? I wish... Never mind. Ooh. If you really want to do it, I won't stop you. I've been fighting to take control of this game again, but if you want to play through the mod, then... well, I'll succumb to the mod's control. So... do you want me to allow this mod's activation? Yeah. Ha! I knew it. Rans, or whatever your name actually is, I truly hope you can find happiness with your choice. I made this choice. There's no turning back now, Monica. We're doing this. Lay in bed, motionless, and staring up the blank white ceiling. Ah, that's just pretty much my thing too. Last night was dreadful. The sound of thunder kept me up for hours. Oof. Well, actually, I will probably still be sleeping by that. But today's another day, I guess. Let's just hope that it's at least a bit better. With another sigh, I begrudgingly drag myself out of bed and groggily begin the monotony of my daily routine. Making my way to the kitchen, I haphazardly rummage through the cupboards, looking for something to eat. Unfortunately, there's no tasty homemade breakfast awaiting me. Ever since my parents' divorce, I've just been living off of whatever I find in the kitchen. I live with my mom, but she's always taking business trips abroad. Oh. So for the most part, it's pretty much just me at home. It's lonely, but I manage. Ah, but that's that's really I kind of know that feeling because currently I am in a small apartment, so especially in its types, it's really actually pretty hard to be alone, especially when you're in quarantine. When you're in shelter-in-place orders, when you're at home, uh, and there's no one else living with you. I know that for some people, it's been pretty hard. It's been pretty difficult. So yeah, but thankfully, there are a lot of ways where you can still keep in touch with people. Despite the current situation that we're having, there's video chatting, social media. If you take it moderately, that is. So there's a lot of ways that you can definitely manage that. Although I do miss the smell of bacon and eggs in the morning. Breakfast used to be a family thing. Dad would read the newspaper at the kitchen table, while Mom would stand at the stove and fry up her famous sunny side up eggs. Yeah. But all that feels like a long forgotten memory. Well, at least breakfast is sorted. A calorie meat. That's a reference somewhere. I'm not gonna mention that here. Not exactly the best starter date. Not exactly the best start to the day, but it'll do. I do my own shopping since Mom's never home, but I usually stick to buying the bare necessities. The ease of using pre-made stuff has pretty much sapped me out of the urge to cook meals for myself. Yeah, can relate to that as well. Well, initially when I started living alone in my own apartment, um, you know, especially when it's rented, some apartments have limitations that you can't use a stove. So definitely stovetop cooking, especially with gas, was definitely out of the question. So that resorted me to mostly, uh, you know, whenever I did groceries, it's mostly related to, just something that you can put in a microwave or in an oven toaster, because those are the two things that I have. But more recently, I actually got myself an air fryer. So there's that. It's still, the kind of food that you can make when you're doing stovetop is still going to be different. But at least, have some more, should we say, room as far as what I can, what food I can make, what I can cook, especially given the times. Essentially because it's much more harder now to get takeout or even just buying pre-made food because of the quarantine situation. But yeah. And with my food quickly finished, I head for the door. At the very least, the weather looks very much better than yesterday's. Clear skies beat thunderstorms any day of the week, I'll say. But I'm still lost in my thoughts when I notice a familiar face. It's Sayori. We have quite a history together as children. We were basically inseparable. After exploring, getting up to mischief, driving our parents wild, typical things that young children do, really. As time went on, especially in recent years, we started slowly drifting apart. In fact, I haven't properly spoken to her in a long time. Yeah, we probably have some of those as well. Especially with, at least here, good thing that your childhood, it's just my neighbor, but I know that there are some friends that I've had during my childhood that haven't touched base in a while. So yeah, it's a real shame after all. We shared a lot of fond memories with each other. I'm actually surprised to see her up so early though. A couple of times I glanced out of the classroom window only to see her hurriedly walking along to school. Probably with toast in her mouth. We used to walk to school together, and although she was sometimes a little late to meet me, I never really minded. As we continued to drift apart, however, her lack of punctuality became more frequent, and I decided it would be better off if I just walked to school home, you know, alone. Walk to school alone. Yeah. Which meant that although I did get to school on time more often, it was quite lonely. Oof. Knowing her, she's probably just gotten more and more lazy with time. After all, her dedication to sleeping in seems to be unwavering. Oh my goodness. I do have some people in mind who are also like that, actually. So, not the only one. Not the only one. Thanks for the follow over there, Sikadeb. Much appreciated. Ah, well. Still, I've always enjoyed talking to her. Hey Sayori, I haven't seen you in a while. Have you been? She looks a bit surprised at my appearance in question. I suppose I can't blame her. Oh hey Rance, I wasn't expecting to see you. That makes it two of us. You're up early today, huh? She laughed softly, a misplaced look and frown on her face. I've been alright though. Not a whole lot has changed recently, you know? Yeah, I know exactly how you mean. Life is pretty routine these days. School's kinda meh. Although I guess it could be worse. Yeah. She nods as we both resume the walk to school. Although I can talk to her just fine, there's still an awkward air between us. I wonder why. I guess that's a given, seeing that this is our first proper conversation together in a long time. Yeah, I can see that. As we carry on making idle small talk, a sudden thought hits me. Anyway, this might come across as a bit out of the blue, but seeing you here has given me an idea. Oh? Well, it's been a while that since we walked to school together. How about we start doing that again? Eh? You really want to do that? I'm not very fun to talk to, and I'm always late. I frown. It's really strange to hear Sayori say this, given I've always known her as to having a bubbly, cheerful personality. Sayori, that's definitely not true. Well, the bit about always being late is true. I've always loved hanging out with you, and I think we'll have a lot of fun again. Besides, I've missed you. I'll even help you wake up on time if you need me to. Oh. Was that a bit too forward? It was. I don't know. I've never been in this sort of situation before. Even still, that was a bit still too forward, man. I mean, we are childhood friends after all, right? That's not really relevant in this situation, man. Really? Yeah, really. I missed you too, Rans. Well, let's do it then. From now on, we'll walk to school together, okay? Okay. Ah, there it is. The classic Sayori smile I grew up loving. All the memories that I have of us together as childhood feature that smile. It is really adorable though. Not gonna lie. No matter where we ventured, parks, playgrounds, forest, that smile would follow. That innocent, childlike sense of adventure we used to have, it's painfully clear that's long gone. But maybe we can still smile together anyway. So, what have you been up to lately? You know, the usual. You mean games, anime, and manga, right? Shots fired. Straight to the point, Sayori. Yup, it pretty much goes without saying. Oh, Renz, you haven't changed. Are you saying that Are you saying that you think I need some change? No one's perfect. There's always room for improvement. Yeah, that's true. Always be improving, guys. Especially in your case. I'm guessing you're still part of the Go Home Club? Hey, that cuts a little deep. What do you want me to do? Join the soccer club and trip over everyone? Well, I think a lot of exercise is good for anyone. That's true. And, you know, I know that the outdoor exercise is not pretty much a thing nowadays, but that still holds true still. You know, especially now. Probably say that to myself as well. I'm very offended if you're trying to call me fat right now. That's not what you probably meant, dude. But okay. Well, you don't have to join the sports club if you do want to. Yeah, I was actually thinking of checking out the anime club. Wow, how'd you guess? It does suit my hobbies though, so friends, you should try branching out a bit more. Okay, Miss Club Expert, if you're gonna criticize all my club choices, what would you suggest? Well, it just so happens that there's this club that I'm in. Oh, really? Yeah, and I'm actually the vice president. Wow, I did not expect that. Dang, so you get to take part in all the executive decisions, huh? Uh-huh. Kind of. The club kinda only has 4 members at the moment, but it's really fun. We're actually looking for new members right now. Ah, so that's why she brought it up. Only 4 members? Sounds like you guys are just standing out then. Oh, just starting out. Damn it, Rand. What club is it anyway? It's the school's very own literature club. I intentionally let out a sigh. God damn it. See, now what have you done? Her face drops. I don't think that was quite the reaction she was hoping for. Yeah. In my defense, literature has never quite captured my interest. Unless if you count manga as literature, that is. I think it counts. But we'll go that, you know, we'll go into further details on that. And I'm pretty sure that will be discussed further in the game. I knew it. You don't want to join. I understand though, not many people like reading. Hey, who said I didn't like to read? I love reading, if you count the manga. I wanted the last word. Whether it was the last word more to myself than to Sayori. On the plus side, Sayori laughs at my sheepishness. You sound like someone I know from the literature club. She talks about manga all the time. Oh really? I am actually interested in your club though. Sayori smiles, seemingly content that I'm showing initiative. If I'm looking for a club to join, I guess the literature club is good as a place as any to start. That's great. You should come by sometime. Actually, that's pretty true. If you're not really sure, which club or organization, that you'd like to join, and if you're, exploring your options, it's probably a good idea to go with one that's just either starting out or just has a few members. That way, you'll get yourself more involved. So that's actually pretty good. That's pretty good advice. Take it from me. And by some time, you're hoping for today, aren't you? Hey, the sooner the better. Alright, I'll have a look after school today. Yay! Thanks, friends. Although we should probably hurry up. We don't want to be late now, do we? Yeah, you're right. I was under the impression that, we were chatting while walking, but anyway, within a few minutes we arrived at the school's entrance and missed a crowd of chattering students. We wave goodbyes, we head off to our separate classes. I have Sakura in the morning, so I'm fairly confident that the next hour or so won't be too bad. Ooh. Who's Sakura, you might ask? Only one of the coolest, most down-to-earth teachers we have in the whole school. And this is also a new character that's on this mod. We actually have an actual teacher character now. And can we just appreciate for a moment the music here? This really feels like, a very entirely... It has an entirely different feeling, which is good. So, gotta appreciate that. Gotta appreciate the music there. Being on the young side himself, the experience of high school is pretty much fresher on his mind than some of the other teachers, especially the older ones. Yeah. I know that, for those who are currently in high school right now, I'm pretty sure their experience is gonna be really different from what I've experienced when I was in high school. And, I'm still considered, on the young side as well. But, when I was in high school, social media was just emerging, Facebook just became popular at that time. We were in the early days of social media back then. But of course, nowadays, it's hard to do face-to-face classes. For most areas, it's actually currently I know it's vacation time for most areas right now. But there's definitely, I'm sure that there's a lot of talk what happens when, when it's usually the time of the year when classes start opening up again. There's been talk of whether face-to-face classes should happen again, or, teachers or the schools should dedicate more time to online learning. But yeah, pretty much that's the new normal now. And again, that's just a sign that, what high schoolers are experiencing right now is definitely really different from when I was in high school. So yeah. He gives him a smile as I open the door. Morning, Rand. How are we doing today? Not bad, sir. Same old, same old. How about you? Well, we're finally starting our module on the 20th century history today. So needless to say, I'm excited. Ooh. Oh yeah? First World War, Nazism, Second World War, that stuff? I don't know why you had to specifically mention this one, that's pretty much related to the Second World War. Well, it's a precursor to the Second World War, so okay. Anyway, you bet. I've waited all year for this to start. Oh man, you guys are in for a real treat. I actually agree. As far as what I can remember, it's usually the 20th century that gets me the most interest when it comes to learning history. Probably because it's, it's closer to the present time. So there are some things that we can still relate to. But yeah, I can really agree. And that's something else that I really admire about him. He's so enthusiastic about his subject, and that enthusiasm really makes learning about history that much more enjoyable. I agree. If you're someone who's very passionate about sharing what you know to others, some of that passion does end up rubbing off on the people that you're sharing the knowledge to. Which is why it's great if you can surround yourself in a place, be it within your circle of friends or within your workplace. It's always a good idea that there's a place where you're always you're able to openly and passionately share your ideas, your hobbies, your interests. So it's usually that kind of feeling. Combined with the fact that he's fairly relaxed, especially when it comes to homework, you can really see why he's popular. Although he does have a strict side, of course, that side of him comes to light every now and then, so he isn't a pushover. By and large, he's earned the respect of his students by striking the balance just right. Yeah, I know that there's only gonna be a handful of teachers who are like that. And I know that it's really tricky. Striking the balance of being able to engage with your students, probably making them, having your classes feel like, just a chill experience, but at the same time, you really have to, enforce every now and then. It can be tough. So, I do have a lot of respect for teachers who can actually pull it off. I just wish that all my teachers were as friendly and made efforts to know their students better. Yeah, exactly. Oh well. Take a seat, and one of my classmates, Emmy, smiles and waves. Bouncy and energetic, she has a reputation for her skills on the track field. Even when she isn't running, she's still pretty much a ball of energy. Hey, yeah. Again, you can clearly see the reference here. We have one of those odd friendships where we get along well in class, but don't really see each other outside of school. That's actually true. How are you doing, Emmy? Training was really fun today, man. Oh? She's always on the hunt for new recruits to join the track team, and she has a habit of dropping some not-so-subtle hints. Yeah, we're always looking for for new people, and I know you aren't part of any clubs, so you should totally join us. It's funny that you mentioned that I'm not part of any clubs, actually. I think I'm gonna check out the literature club after school. I didn't really think you were the poetic type, but even if you get bored of writing poems, you know where to find me. How many times do I have to tell you that? Alright guys, let's make a start. It's almost criminal that I have to wait so long to teach my favorite century. Well, that's the school's lessons over. As I linger behind the classroom to gather up all my things, I hear the door open. It's Sayuri. Hi again, Rans. Hey, the Literature Club's meeting today, right? Yeah, it is. I was just heading there now. You still want to come along? You betcha. Sayuri seems to perk up, looking excited that I still want to come along to the club. Yeah, look at that smile. Look at you, finally doing some extracurriculars. I mean, if you're the vice president, it can't be all that bad, right? She giggles, making me smile. Each individual club member makes it special. Everyone works hard to have fun together. Well, let's not keep them waiting. It'd be rude to show up late. Want to make a good first impression after all. Ah, I guess you're right. Come on, it's right this way and up the stairs at the end. I follow Sayuri down the hallway. She seems excited. It's nice to know that I'm making her day at least a little bit better. Yeah. The stairs lead up to a section of the school that I recognize as the third year wing. Sayuri leads me to a classroom and knocks on the door. Trust me, you're gonna love it. She's definitely enthusiastic about this club, that's for sure. After a seemingly long wait, the door finally slides open. Oh, hey there, Natsuki. A small pink-haired girl peeks out. Sayuri? She peeks out further. I'm just imagining this scene. And let's just say it's overly kawaii right now. Hey Natsuki, guess what? I found someone who wants to join our club. The girl who apparently called Natsuki slowly turns a glare to me and narrows her eyes. Oh, come on. She opens the door fully, and behind her I see another girl sitting at the desk, her face buried in a book. What? Hey, wait, Sayuri! Sayuri practically pushes Natsuki out of the way. She seems excited to introduce me to the rest of the club members. Hey guys, I wanted to introduce you to our newest member, Rans. Sayuri, hold up! It's a bit quick to call me the new member, isn't it? Then notice a third girl peek out from behind the bookshelf in the corner of the classroom. Can it be? Is that Monica? Monica is one of the most popular girls of this high school. Everyone seems to flock her because she's smart, beautiful, athletic, you name it, she's got it. Unfortunately, this also means she's completely out of my league. Ooh, wow. Don't beat your... don't... But then again, it's pretty good to pretty much be aware of yourself, but at the same time, don't overly look down on yourselves, guys. She looks at me first with a stern look, but then quickly lights up, puts down the book she's holding, and rushes over. Alright, what a nice surprise. That pose is also quite a surprise. I actually saw a demo of this mod once. I know the reasons why they changed the poses, considering that Monica somehow has a different role in this storyline. But let's just say it will take time for me to get used to Monica's new poses. Let's put it at that. Welcome to the club. The girl who has her face buried in her book suddenly jolts up and looks right at me. She quickly snaps her book shut and timidly moves to join the conversation. Oh, new member? My name's Yuri. Yuri. Yeah, Holy crap, it seems that I'm somehow locked out. Not only is Monica in this club, but also a bunch of other cute girls. Yeah. Yeah. And you can see they're all lined up. Unfortunately, at least, you know, with this release, you can only choose 3 out of the 4. Unfortunately, Monica, you're still not a dealable character in this mod. They did say that the reason was there were some issues with the writing for Monica, and the writer themselves. You know, they had to deal with some kind of, you know, which is very understandable, especially with COVID and some other stuff. So I do get what they're saying, but still, considering that this is a mod of the literature club, you know, I know that there are some people out there who still says, you know, we're still having that press X to doubt moment. But yeah. Am I glad I decided to come here instead of the anime club today? Yeah. You'll probably wonder what are the members of the anime club, right? What the members of the anime club are. Probably, you know, just giving you guys some thought. But enough gawking, friends. Stop staring and stop talking. Yeah. You know, gotta internally slap yourself, you know, out of just spacing out. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, Yuri. Like Sayori said, I'm Rans. Smile here, then turn to Monica. So it sounds like that you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Rans. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. It's kind of strange to say, but having her smile at me so genuinely makes me feel a bit starstruck. It's true. It reminds me of that one girl that was also very popular. This was way back in elementary school, so. And I actually kind of knew that. I kind of heard rumors that she was actually, you know, crushing on me specifically, and I actually got confirmation from, you know, from our mutual friends. So that was quite something. But I know that feeling of being starstruck. Well, let's put it at that. I'll not further expound on that story. The powers of a school idol. You too, Monica. So you guys run a club with just the 4 of you then, huh? Sarah told me about how you were looking for new members. Well, I've actually been trying to push for more members for a while, but we haven't had any luck recently. Sayori did say... My words dry up in my mouth as Natsuki shoots me a piercing glare. Oh. What's with that look? She looks pissed at me, but for what reason, I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to do much besides walk in and say hello. Sayori, you brought a boy? Boy. Yep, damn right. He told me he wanted to join it just this morning. Not sure if it's just Sayori being an airhead again, but I don't recall promising that I'd join. Great. Natsuki glowers at us, folding her arms in an irritated huff. I don't really get why though. Sorry about Natsuki. That's just how she is. She's a little standoffish to new members. Oh, it's nothing. I don't mind. Hey, I'm right here, you know. sorry. I tried to I got to try to make a good impression, though. Come on, Natsuki. We need new members. If you don't feel like being nice to Rance, can you at least be nice for me? Please? Jeez. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. Fine. If you're gonna beg, I guess I have no choice. Hooray! Thanks, Natsuki. Looks like I know the tsundere of the group is now. You know, the pose says it all. The pose says it all. This pose right here, folks. That's the pose of a tsundere. It's almost comical to the extent to which Natsuki fits that trope. Well, maybe my view of the world is just clouded by anime influences, though. Nope. It's not really much the case, though, because, you know, some things that happen in anime, you know, there are some anime out there that influences real life, so not really by that much. Anyway, let's get this conversation back on track. How'd you come to learn about the literature club, Rance? I'll have to admit, I'm a bit curious about that myself. So anyway, Sayuri and I were just walking to school when she mentioned this club to me. Since I was sort of looking for a club to join, I figured that I should check you guys out. At any rate, Sayuri was really enthusiastic about the literature club. Why can't I say that? Literature club, so... Monica beams at Sayuri when she hears this. Guess Sayuri has done a good job advertising for the club. I see. Well, I think this is a great place to start. Oops. Didn't meant to skip that. Well, I think this is a great place to start. After all, books can be very enticing. Alright. Yeah, it's super fun. I think the club is the only place where I've been feeling comfortable lately. Sayuri's face falls down for a moment, but she quickly picks herself back up. It's somewhere I can just sit and read while hanging out with friends. I think they summed up the club pretty well. After all, I started to bring together like-minded people who love literature. I'm really happy with how it's turned out so far. It's very cozy. But enough introductions. Why don't you come in and take a seat, Rance? Did you bring anything to read? As she asks that, I realize I'm not much of a reader, much less someone who loves literature. To be honest, I haven't thought this through very well. Would joining a club that focuses on reading really be the best thing for me? No. I don't really have any books on me at the moment. I just haven't seen any good titles recently. I light through my teeth hoping Monica doesn't see through my facade. I obviously don't read much, but if they believe that I do, hopefully it will help me relate to these girls. Well, we have plenty of books here. If you want to check out what we have, I'm sure you'll find something that matches your taste. Is that so? I guess I head over there. Maybe something might catch my eye. I start to sit nervously as I walk awkwardly over the bookshelf. There looks to be a good variety of books available, ranging in genre from horror and fantasy, all the way down to non-fiction. Sheepishly I turn towards Oh, there we go, guys. First choice of this game. I'm gonna pause it here for now, and well, let's give it some thought, and then we'll jump right back. I actually just need to take a quick break here, but should be just 5 minutes. I'll be back shortly. Oh man. Salvating chat here saying Yuri is very, very sexy. She definitely is. No doubt about it. But yeah. But considering what happened in the original Literature Club game, that too. But yeah, we are back, folks, and yeah, just needed a little quick break here. Anyway, so this is the first choice that we're gonna make on this mod. Which pretty much sets the precedent as far as which route you're going for. But you know what? Let's go with Yurina for this one. Since she's the one that's into what we would consider books. Hey, could you help me pick out a book that you think I'd like? Oh, I'd be happy to, if the prospect isn't too off-putting. I know of a wonderful horror novel. See? To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. Still, I wanted to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What book were you thinking of? Blushing, Yuri bends down and removes a thick book from the bookcase. It has a large piercing eye on the cover. It almost feels like it's staring into my soul. Oh god. One of my personal favorites, Portrait of Markov. I know it might look intimidating, but sorry. She shakes her head and goes to put the book back, but I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'll let you check it out. What's it about? Coy smile plays across her face as though she were pleasantly surprised by my enthusiasm. And probably awoke something in her too. Let's see. The protagonist is a young high school student who moves in with her sister. But shortly after, sinister things start happening. Ooh. The two are captured by an ominous cult that practices nightmarish experiments on their prisoners. Throughout the story, she is forced to make choices no one her age should have to make. In the process, her ability to trust others is warped, and many of her relationships are broken as a result. Pretty dark, but hey, I'd be lying if I said it didn't sound interesting. Actually, yeah. I would actually agree with that. I'm with the MC on this one, with, in this case, Rance. Horror is not really something that's always on my radar. But if there's an interesting story, I might take a look. And this is one of those stories that I would probably take a look. Well, it definitely sounds pretty engaging. I think I'll read this book then. Natsuki mumbles something, but she's barely out of earshot. Really? You don't have to if you don't want to. I do. While this might be not what I usually pick, your description of the plot intrigued me. Well, there's other things besides plot that probably intrigued us here today, didn't we? Anyway, old Joe, I have to ask, what makes this your favorite book? If I had to put it into words, I suppose I'm a big believer in literature's ability to change the psyche. So to have such an immersive tale question your So to have such an immersive tale questioning ideals and foundations can be extremely exhilarating. She smiles and twirls the long lavender strand of her hair around her finger. Words are immensely powerful. They can paint stunning portraits, invoke emotion, or even whisk oneself away to an entirely new dimension. As she continues to speak, she transforms from the timid girl I just met into a proud and confident expert. Yep, that's Yuri right there. I get the impression that she feels more at home with books rather than other people. And for some people, that's pretty much that's pretty much a turn on, I would say. Isn't it exhilarating, friends? We have such a vast vocabulary at our disposal. With such a powerful resource at our fingertips, we can do anything. I clear my throat, hoping that I don't put her off with my evident inexperience. There's something else may have been interpreted by that line. Yeah, when you put it that way, I can understand how powerful the written word can be. No shit. I scratch the back of my head nervously. Fortunately, she finds that to be a satisfactory answer. One must look at the words the author chose. We have so many synonyms, so what compelled the author to shape their stories the way they did? The feeling I get when I finally finish a truly compelling novel, it leaves me totally breathtaking. That smells pretty cute. I wish I had something as coherent to respond with. Might as well be from different planets. I actually kinda get Yuri, in a way. I think I know what you mean. She closes her eyes, pulling her hands close to her chest. Then, still remembering she's not alone, she suddenly blinks and immediately appears more bashful. Goodness, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost in my train of thought. She fidgets with a thin clip of her hair, sliding it up and down. That's probably cute too if we can actually see that. But then again, as Yuri probably says, her writing style, and I'm pretty much discussing, what we've learned about these characters in the, in the original Literature Club game, is her style of writing really is more so when it comes to, using the use of words to articulate ideas in her head, rather than, unlike Natsuki's style, which, because, she coming from someone who reads a lot of manga, the art also comes into play when it comes to telling stories through the literature. What's up, Galaxy Angel? Thanks for subbing by on the stream. Surprisingly, we have more people on the YouTube stream than the last time that I streamed, which was, a long time ago. The last time I've seen people drop by was on a Mixer chat. I'm not streaming on Mixer today though, so there's that. Hey, don't worry about it. It's nice to see when you talk about something you obviously enjoy. Who's to say otherwise? Probably set up a flag there. Yuri glances over to Natsuki, who simply raises her eyebrow in reply. Does Natsuki not like these kinds of stories? She sighs and turns to look out of the window. That's putting it lightly. Ain't that the truth? We have our differences in what we enjoy, literature-wise. Again, like I said, knowing these characters from the original game, they do have two distinct approaches when it comes to number one, their writing style, and of course, their take on literature. Natsuki's not a horror person. I would, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh, messed what did there. She frowned slightly as to pained by Natsuki's apparent disapproval. Alright. Well, I think everyone's different tastes are what makes literature interesting, especially when talking about it with other people. Yeah. And again, that's the point of the literature club, is, aside from expressing, what your interests are, you also get to learn what other people's takes are. And yeah, thanks for stopping by this stream, and I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it. I can't help but grin, and I feel like that's actually pretty clever. Yes, that's a good way of looking at it. I reach over to take a portrait of Markov from her, tucking it under my arm. Well, I'll give this a bit of a read and see how far I can get tonight. I appreciate giving it a chance, even if it's not something you're used to. Again, expanding our horizon, guys. I'll be looking forward to hearing your opinion. I must warn you though, once you get past the first few chapters, you might have trouble putting it down. Oh, yes. I've been there. Especially when you're already deep, when it comes to, when you're already that invested in a story. I've had that kind of experience too. But more so with manga, and, I think, some of the books that I've also got to read from time to time. So I definitely know that feeling. And perhaps tomorrow, I mean, if you wanted to, we could discuss it. Oh. That's so... She looks quite nervous as she suggests that. Guess that's just how her personality is. It's adorable. It is adorable. Thanks for the subscription on Galaxy Angel. Probably I'll look into posting more content on YouTube. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Thanks for the recommendation, Yuri. I do need to branch out and try new things. This will be a good place to start. With a horror story, no less. I'm grateful that I get to read it on my own, at least for now. I honestly have no idea if I'll even like it. And if I were reading it with her and decided I did it, that might things a little awkward. True. With the book in hand, I make my way to a desk. The others are all now preoccupied, so this seems. Like a convention time to start the story. Oh, like a convenient time to start the story. Sorry. I have a friend that's already missing, going to conventions. So that's probably why I mentioned that when I saw that. Anyways, moving on. It's definitely an unusual book. Horror was never really my thing, but I have to admit the main idea is intriguing, and the main characters are written well. The more I read, the more I can see why it appeals to Yuri. Yeah, I can see that. All that talk about appreciating sophisticated language, while it's not exactly my kind of story, to their credit, the author does a good job building up the rather bleak situation. Yeah, sometimes your choice of words in writing can definitely make an impact, can have a different, picture as far as, especially if it's just a novel. definitely the choice of words will definitely matter as far as how you go through the story. I've never been particularly imaginative, but even I can picture the scenes in my head. If it weren't so tired, I could probably engage with it more. And again, case in point. Over time, I can't help but grow a little bored though. I guess I've read enough to be able to discuss it with Yuri tomorrow, so I decide to call it there. Looking up, I spot Yuri reading something. Might as well see what she's up to. I'll probably read this for long enough. Yeah. Don't binge read, especially if you're just starting out. It's a good thing to take it small steps. If you're just starting out something new. Speaking of which, probably take small steps when it comes to streaming as well. So that's what I'm trying to do. Standing up with a stretch, I make my way over and take a seat next to her. And there she is. Hey, how's it going, Yuri? What are you reading? As I sit down, I notice that she looks quite content. Nothing much. Just reading some stuff for a school project. What about you? You seem really into your book. Oh, yeah. It was a good read. At least as far as I can tell right now. I can't help but wish I sounded a little more enthusiastic. That's great. So how are you liking the club? You're not bored, are you? She looks a little worried, her cheerful persona faltering for a moment. Oh. Where did that question come from? It's a bit too early to tell how I really feel about the club. Of course not, Yuri. Sure, I've been here for long, but I've enjoyed meeting everyone. They've opened my eyes to new stuff. I've never been huge on reading, but I'm confident the literature club could change that. While I'm glad to hear that you're involved, I don't want to join a club that you have no interest in, right? I know what you mean. I think reading will grow in me in time. Again, small steps, guys. Actually, do you mind if I sit with you and read? She looked at me clearly surprised. I don't think she was expecting me to sit next to her, but nonetheless she seems happy. Her smile is infectious, lifting my own spirits too. This reminds me, an advice that the boss usually tells me, or tells everyone, when I'm at work, is to always smile. Especially when it comes to my job, which is actually in customer service. When we're taking phone calls, and we also have to deal with customer emails and online chat. Something along those lines. The reason why my boss always tells us that to always smile is so that we would be in that kind of attitude where we're also able to express that when we're taking calls. It also feels like that you're smiling to the person who's on the other line, even though they can't see you, or even when you're just typing out your responses. So it's actually a good piece of advice. So smiles can be infectious, even though that you can't see it. That would be great, man. We read for a while, which turns into talking fairly quickly. Our conversation became being a continuation of our chat from the walk to school. It's nice just to sit and talk with my childhood friend, who'd had guessed reconnecting would be so easy. Who would have guessed reconnecting would be so easy? Gosh, Reds, it's already almost 3 a.m. We're at that point. I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. The good mood reflects on her well, given that she seems very uplifted and bubbly. I don't know what is it about her that makes me so at ease. Wow, we've been talking for a bit, haven't we? Man, I didn't even realize the time. I guess we've been talking for a while. I can see why you come to the literature club so much. There really is a welcome at ease vibe here. It must be a nice change of pace after how hectic the school day can be. Yeah, it's pretty nice when you have a place to, when I was still in school, it's pretty nice when you get to have a place where you can chill out, after a school's day of work. For me, that would have been the publication office, because I actually used to write for the school, for the student paper back then, back in college. So, just being able to take refuge in the office in between classes, and while we're not doing publication work, it pretty much also functions as a chill out spot. And I was hoping you'd say that, Renz. It really is, and I'm grateful for the others as well. That they really help make the club the way it is. I can't help but notice that Natsuki and Yuri seems to be very different though. Do they argue much? She looks very downcast at my question. I'll take that as a yes. And thanks for dropping by the stream, Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, lots of activity on YouTube. That's a good sign. Sometimes yes, but thankfully it isn't often. I can sense that this isn't a topic she likes discussing. Well, that's only normal, I guess. Monica seems like a great president though. She must be very proud of this club. Just then, Monica gets up from the desk she was sitting at and faces the classroom confidently. Speak of the devil. Okay, everyone. I hope we're all having a good time so far. There's a good moment of silence during which everyone seems to be glancing at me. Do they want me to respond? I'm honestly having a great time. Thanks for the warm welcome, everyone. Well, it's great to hear that. And as it turns out, Natsuki baked some cupcakes for the club too. How coincidental. Yeah, I know. I was just about to announce it, so let me get them. Let's go sit over there, Hens. It looks like there's room at those desks for all of us. I dutifully follow you over to where the rest of the girls have pulled a couple of desks together to form a table. How about I make some tea as well? Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens a closet. Still feeling a bit awkward, I opt to take a seat next to Sayori. If the conversation starts to die out, I can always rely on her to save me. Oh. Yes. Meanwhile, Natsuki probably marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay. Are you ready? Ta-da! Oh. Oh, they actually have the they actually show us how the cupcake looks like in this mod. That's cool. Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. I think I remember that being described on the original game, but it's good to also have a visual on that. And I agree. This may come as a surprise for you two, Calyx Angel and Sonic the Hedgehog, but considering that there may be a little delay between what I'm seeing and what I'm seeing in the chat, but I'm actually relatively new to Doki Doki. I had actually seen what it was when it first came out 2 years ago, but I never actually got into it until very recently. That's just one of the effects of the quarantine, actually. So yeah, I'm actually, perhaps I'm actually in a good time when, we have this mod that's apparently, from what I know, has been in development since the original game also came out. So I do think, I'm glad to be on the, probably on the right time for me to jump right in to the craziness that's been Doki Doki. Anyway, back to Natsuki's cupcakes. The whiskers are drawn with icing, a little piece of chocolate used to make ears. So cute! Yes, it's very cute. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, just hurry and take one. Jerry grabs one first, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to eat icing on her face. I turn to the cupcake around my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. We know where this is going. It's just like the original game here. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. Hump! The icing is sweet and full of flavor. If she made it all by herself, that's seriously impressive. It practically tastes professionally down to me. No worries, Galaxy Angel. No need to apologize. I know that you're really passionate about the Doki Doki, and I'm pretty much glad that I've already found the time for me to jump in. But then again, it's not like I have the most discerning taste palette. These cupcakes are amazing. Thank you, Natsuki. Heh, yeah, you better thank me, cause this took hard work to do. Yeah, it really seems like it. Did you make it by yourself? Or did your parents help you? Uh-oh. Hey! What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I could have done it myself? No. It's just that it seems professionally made. So I was wondering if an actual baker helped you. I wish my dad was a baker, but just because I don't bake for money doesn't mean that I can't be good. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just suck at cooking myself, so I'm wowed by good cooking. I guess I should count myself lucky that I got to try your cupcakes today, eh? Okay, that just came off to me as some, Never mind. Uh-huh. It's not every day that I have time to bake. So be thankful. God, I really like Natsuki's attitude here. The expression on Natsuki's face practically says, "Bow down before me, peasant." Oh. Are you expecting Rance to prostrate himself before you? Looks like Monica had the same thought. You can't blame Natsuki for bragging a little though. I would too if I made this. Yeah, exactly. Natsuki smiles gratefully at Sayori's save. Meanwhile, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before settling down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Eh? That's not... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. Typical Yuri. I guess you can also see her charm as well. Of course, with Natsuki, you get the cute tsundere character, which we probably all know and you all know and love. But I can also see why there's also you can also see the appeal of Yuri as well. I admit that, Don't worry about it. I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a common pastime for me, but I can at least appreciate it. Yeah, I agree. Hey Doki Doki, thanks for dropping by this stream again. Thanks for dropping by on a YouTube stream here. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. I'm happy that you look like you're enjoying yourself, friends. Oh, for those of you who are in chat, I actually want to know how you guys feel about, Monica's pose here on this mod. Because it's, if you guys probably haven't noticed, it's different from the original game. So yeah, just feel free to sound off. And, I'm actually curious about your ideas on that as well. As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Oh, that reminds me. I'm actually meaning to ask you something, Monica. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be the board member of any major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. I definitely know that feel. Especially that I actually also get the chance to run my own club back in high school before. It's actually just pretty nice just to be in a, just in an overall chill club than being one of the, major popular clubs. I know it, I've seen this before. There is like a, pyramid tier for clubs. Wherein it's usually the sports clubs at the top, and then something like a literature club or the anime club is somewhere in the middle or bottom tier. But yeah, for some people, they like just to be chill, and I guess that's the case for Monica right here. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica's really a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. But I guess it must be hard to start a new club since everyone's probably settled in their own activities already. You could put it that way. It can be hard to get people invested in things that are brand new. True. Especially when it comes to something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. True. You have to work to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the Culture Festival that much more important. Speaking of school events, I don't think I saw your club at the club fair at the beginning of the year. Ah! That's because I hadn't started it yet. Oh, guess that explains why you don't have many members yet. Yeah, we missed that opportunity to join first years who hadn't found clubs yet. It's a lot harder to advertise on a person-by-person basis. And like I said, a lot of people already have other extracurricular by now. But even so, I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they're all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with the level of enthusiasm about literature. By the way, I know that everyone here likes reading, but do you guys write as well? Actually, we haven't really done any writing together, funnily enough. Do you guys just read and discuss books then? You could say that. So it's more like a normal book club than a literature club. To be honest, I was kind of expecting you all to do stuff like write poetry together. At the word poetry, Natsuki jolts back a bit. Eh? Do you not like poetry, Natsuki? What? I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. Oh, really? With a sly smile, Monica gets up, rummages through her book bag, and returns with a loose notebook page in her hands. I happen to have a poem called... Hey! Where did you get that? Oh! Uh-oh. Natsuki springs up and snatches the paper out of Monica's grasp. Don't worry, I didn't steal it from your bag or anything. You dropped it on your way out the other day. I was going to return it, but I couldn't help teasing you a bit before I did that. So Natsuki does write some poetry. Well, I'd appreciate if you kept your nosy nose out of my private work. Duly noted. And sorry I couldn't help glancing over your poem when I picked it up. Your writing style is really cute, Natsuki. Ooh. You gotta trigger the sundering even more now. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sherry sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. Kawaii janayo! I'm not cute! Hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So you do write your own poems, Natsuki. Eh? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I just think that's pretty neat. Why don't you share them with the club sometime? Not everyone gonna call them cute. Not if everyone's just gonna call them cute. Oh, Natsuki, Natsuki, Natsuki. Like Siri said, there's nothing wrong with being cute, you know. You wouldn't get it. There's nothing worse than trying to get honest feedback from someone and just having them say it's cute. Scorn drips from the word cute. I guess I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, no one does. It's super annoying, you know? Actually, I believe I understand how Natsuki feels. Oh. Natsuki looks surprised at Yuri's sudden interjection. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. That's true. That's actually true. And the only reason why I also relate so much is the club that I mentioned that I used to have back in, that I used to also take charge back in high school was actually a writing club. So in a way, it's kind of related to the literature club. So I really do understand some of the points that they're saying right now. And when that's all dismissed with a single remark, well, suffice to say it can greatly discourage you from putting your work out there again. That sounds like both you and Natsuki have writing experiences in common, Yuri. Maybe. Although I didn't mean to speak for Natsuki. Jeez, it's fine. I pretty much agree with what you said, so... A brief moment of silence falls upon us as we reflect on the conversation. This just gave me an idea, everyone. We all look quizzically at Monika, who smiles knowingly back at us. If we have members who are looking for legitimate criticism of their poetry, how about we do that here? I'm sure we can all trust each other to be respectful, and I think it'd be a fun activity for us. I don't know if I feel comfortable sharing my old poetry. I didn't write it to be read by the public, so yeah, same here. That's fine. We can all just go home and write new poems to bring tomorrow. I was going to suggest that anyway, since I don't think the rest of us have poetry ready to share yet. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I think learning about poetry would be really fun. And now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us all get a little comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Rans? Isn't that right, Rans? Oh. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. The literature club has been very welcoming so far, at least after the initial introductions were made. And although I have to start writing poems, it seems like a fair price to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Oh, MC. I had my doubts at first, but given how friendly and welcoming these girls are, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't join the club. Yep, I'll be looking forward to becoming better friends with you all. And that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Literature Club. God, I have a hard time saying that sometimes. Thank you, Monika. Yes, I'm so happy you're joining us. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! And thanks for playing along. She whispers that last remark in my ear. So she was aware that I never agreed to join in the beginning. That sneaky girl. Although Sayori is the most enthusiastic, all the girls' eyes are lit up in happiness. I would have been super pissed if you just left after eating my cupcakes. I'm very glad that you're staying as well. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Don't forget tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so that we can hold discussions. Monika looks over me at once more. And I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress Monika with my mediocre reading and writing skills? Something tells me... No, jeez, I can already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Oh well, it's not like Monika's gonna be as harsh as an actual literature teacher though, right? Meanwhile, the others continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Sayori, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Given that she's introduced me to all these amazing people, it's the least I could do for her. Sure, let's head home. With that, two of us wave goodbye to the others and make our way home. On the way back, we discussed the events of the day, focusing particularly on each club member. As we do, my mind wanders between them all. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. I'm excited to hang out with everyone from now on. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of them? In this particular mod's case, yes. Well, at least that's the premise. And I do trust that that's actually what they were going for with this mod. So yeah. We are definitely going to be expecting, we're going to be diving deeper. We're going into a deep dive into these characters more. And that's the goal with the Doki Doki Blue Skies mod, I believe. So yeah, it's actually pretty exciting. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. And I'm glad that they still kept this aspect into the mod. See, this is the thing with mods though, with dating sims. You really can't have all of them. Unless of course, there's a harem route which I don't know of. Is there we'll see. I don't know if there's a harem route in this. But we're at this part we're in. We're gonna be writing a poem, guys. Okay, let's see. This is gonna be... Oh god, I didn't actually think this through. Thank you so much, though. Thank you so much for those who did stop by to the stream. So far, I did see 3 who stopped by, so yeah, thank you so much. Calax Angel, you're really lucky to drop by on my very first video on Doki Doki, and yeah, you can definitely expect that I'll be doing more of it. Because I'm really starting to stream more. So I'll definitely mix this in along with the other games that I'm planning to do. Considering that also it was also this weekend that Persona 4 Golden also came out, so I'm not sure if I'm able to stream that though. Atlas has been pretty strict when it comes to streamers, so we'll probably do more Doki Doki streaming. Then probably when I'm not streaming, I'll go with Persona 4 Golden. Anyways, let's write a poem here. Sparkle. Oh, that's a Yuri. Let's see. Oh god. Let's see. Sky, scarf, memory. Oh, summer. I like that. Landscape. Hey, that's kind of expected. Sonic, I'm actually just surprised that there are people stopping by in the stream. But more or less, I'm glad. This is actually a new record for me, because the last time that I did a live stream was that there was only just one. There's just one guy in the chat that I also got to talk with. So it's always nice. It's always nice when people drop by. It's already good that there are some live viewers, but definitely well appreciated if you can also Just drop by, just say hi, you know, so that I can, just more chances to go along. Bliss. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna be a fight between Sayori and Yuri when it comes to the words that I'm choosing. Hey Josh, Joshua, thanks for stopping by on the stream, on the chat. Happiness. Let's be happy. Think happy thoughts. Excitement. Oh, we're going with the Sayori so far. Doki Doki. Always go with Doki Doki when that word comes up. Treasure. Determination. I think most of those went towards Sayori. I didn't count. We're gonna be playing blind in this one. I guess, that's the case for everyone. Brands, fancy meeting you here. Yes. What a coincidence, huh? Seriously speaking though, I'm happy to see you back here. I would have been disappointed if you ran away on us. Hey, I enjoyed myself last time, so why wouldn't I come back? Sure enough. Feel free to make yourself at home before we start on our club activities. Thanks, will do. Well, I'm back at the literature club. Sarah and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, Rance, I'm glad to see you here again. My voice is cracking. Who knew something so simple would run so much thanks? First Monica and now Yuri? I know that may be overwhelming to be thrown into a new hobby so suddenly, much less in our organization centered around that hobby. So don't hesitate to let me know if you ever need any help. Or any other members for that matter. That is to say, feel free to ask any one of us for assistance. Right. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Don't worry though, it's not like I've never read anything before. I even remembered to write a poem for today, if you'll believe it. Well, believe it when we see it. Hey, it's not like I have to read it. It's not like I need to have a university degree to write a poem. That's true. And I do have a long history of writing poetry as well. Probably one of these days I'll start writing, again, because it's actually been a while. It was just like another school assignment. Although it might be a little new to me, it's not that hard. It's not that hard to write a bad poem, you read. Natsuki, why? Why you have no confidence in me, girl? She got me there. And that's why I've never said I wrote a good poem. Natsuki smirks at me, seemingly pleased that I'm not offended by her teasing. Again, that's her charm. Well, good is often subjective when it comes to subjects like this. That's true. I'm sure you did fine, Rans. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Try not to overhype my work, though. Yeah, Yuri, if you keep your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed. Besides, I bet this is the first extracurricular rants done since high school started. Again, Natsuki. Why? So extra work is probably really foreign to him. Oof. Again, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to say it like that. Natsuki, you're being unfairly harsh. Friends, what would you say your main hobbies are? Wow, she's really putting me on the spot here. I know I'm playing into your teasing right now, but yes, I spend a lot of my time playing games, such as like what we're doing right now, and watching anime, which I will plan to do after this stream. And that's all you need to know. That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps her manga collection in her club room. Oh! Shots fired! Shots fired. What? Natsuki splutters to a halt, like a certain someone knows how to dish it out but can take it. Manga is literature! There it is. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Hans always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh? Are you two childhood friends? I glanced at Sayuri. Despite our cheery recollection of our childhood memories just then, Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smiled at each other. I'm really hoping we could use the club to reconnect. Such a history with one another. I'd imagine you've shared much together. You could say that. Would you believe Sayuri is still as clumsy now as she was 10 years ago? Hey, Meanie. That's not true. Aw, the pouty face. That's adorable. Oh? Did I tell Yuri about the time you tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns pink and she rushes to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm sure you two could be as good of friends. After all, you're both in the literature club now. Yeah. Look forward to it. Yuri looks hopeful after hearing this, although I can't help but wonder. Given the maturity and intelligence he carries so elegantly and her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, will it be as easy as Yuri thinks it is? I wonder. Still, it's worth a try at least. Yay! Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayuri. Eh? Me? It's not much really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. Whatever it is, I'm sure I'll like it. What is it, Yuri? Sayuri made it sound like a big deal. It's really not. I was going to wait to give it to you at the appropriate time, but... Eh? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. Now I ruined the surprise. The two girls both dolefully down. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Yep, go do it. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, this is still a pleasant surprise to me. Just knowing that you went through the effort to get me something makes me feel really welcomed. No matter what, I'm sure it will make me happy. Is that so? Of course! Thank you for being so considerate, Yuri. You're welcome. It's the least I could do. Anyway, if that's the case, here it is. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Ah, wonder what tile is this? Isn't this the book from yesterday? Alright, Sonic, thanks for dropping by the stream. Yeah, go get some food. I thought you might like to have your own copy so that you can read it on your own as well. I honestly don't know what to say. How is it that she's only known me for a day, yet she's already done something this thoughtful for me? Oh, Yuri, thank you. That's really thoughtful of you. But, you didn't have to do that for me. I feel kinda bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that. It's just, I understand if you don't want to read it with me anymore, so... Honestly, she gets more adorable by the minute. Her timidness. Please, it's fine. I'd love to read it with you. I just wasn't expecting you to buy me a copy of my own. Are you sure? I don't want to force you. Seriously, Yuri, I'm sure. After all, I grin at her. It is a good book. She timidly returns my smile, relaxing a little bit. Aww. I'm glad you seem to think so. How are you liking it so far? She looked at me with wide, expectant eyes. She must be really worried that I'm not enjoying it as much as her. To be honest, I've been pleasantly surprised. While horror isn't really my thing, it really kept my attention. Even though I haven't gotten very far yet, I find myself feeling sorry for the protagonist. The language is pretty... engaging. It really makes me think about it. As I praise the book, her face grows visibly more relieved, and her eyes light up as I mention the language. I'm glad you think so. One not only needs to look at what is being said, but how it's phrased. It can entirely change the desired message, wouldn't you agree? That is true. It's not always the, again, it goes back to the part wherein the choice of words is really important. And because that pretty much sets the tone. Especially, when it comes to reading, when it's not being read to you, like an audiobook. It's really gonna be the words that will set the tone. Oh boy, I hope we don't get into an in-depth discussion about the language. I'm sorry. I'm still nowhere near Yuri's level with this sort of thing. Oh, totally, I never really thought about it until you brought it up with me. You really made me look at it with a bit more scrutiny than I would normally. She blushes at this, turning away slightly. Really? I help you with that? I have to admit, you really managed to open my eyes to this sort of thing. Or should I say, my third eye? Eh? Your silence made me nervous. Did I make a mistake? Because the book mentions the third eye and there's an eye on the cover. Oh no. Ah, I see. Probably best to not comment on her accidental continuation of the pun. Tough crowd. Oh, I see. You're making a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I kind of facepalmed myself at that comment. I'm sorry. Sorry, still facepalming. Probably should have a cam on stream next time. No worries. I thought it was a good pun. She smiles bashfully. Oh yes. It's quite humorous, isn't it? Phew, I think that means everything is okay now. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off the scheduled activities for this club. Like the poetry thing. I always steeled myself for the critique I'll probably be receiving. But it seems that we have some downtime before then. Oh well, looks like I wouldn't be able to just immediately get it over with. Where's the others doing right now? Sayori and Monica are having a cheeky conversation in the corner, probably discussing club matters given that they're president and vice president. As expected, Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. He helps an annoying sound from her direction every once in a while. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing today. Natsuki's rummaging around in the cupboard and Yuri's sitting by herself, silently engrossed in her book. Meanwhile, Monica and Sayori seems to be talking animatedly about something. You pretty much said that in the previous scene, but anyways, not really in the mood to read anything. Sat down to the nearest desk. Closing my eyes, I ended up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. The problem with the literature club is that it just doesn't sound particularly exciting. Plus, people have their own preconceptions about what the club will be like. I'm a bit worried that they might assume we're all pretentious and haughty. Yeah, it's a real shame that people can't look past their assumptions. Still, I'm confident that we can come up with something. We can't just give up. This festival is a real chance to show everyone what literature is all about. After all, we have such a variety here. Everyone's poems and writing styles are so different. Natsuki loves manga, and Yuri's really into horror. There shouldn't be something here for everyone. There should be something here for everyone, you know? Agreed. I'm glad everyone has such different tastes. It really helps bring the club to life. That's exactly what we want everyone to see. We just need to find a way of showing how fun literature can be. Something that really stands out and appeals to their creative sides. That doesn't solve the problem though. Okay. My voice is really cracking up now. Huh? What do you mean? Well, even if we come up the most fun thing ever, I don't think people would come in the first place if it's a literature event. So, I think it's more important to figure out how to get people interested in the first place, right? And then once they're here, we can do whatever to appeal to their creative sides. Huh. This is a side of Sayori I haven't seen before. She's really taking this seriously and giving it a lot of thought. Excellent point, Sayori. Where would I be without my vice president? Okay, do you think food will get the job done? I can practically hear Sayori's face light up even though I have my eyes closed. Food! What kind? Oh, yeah. I know, You like my idea, huh? I was thinking... cupcakes! Natsuki would love that. Good thinking. Her cupcakes are so good. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Seriously, they really help me write. Okay, cupcakes will do fine. All this talk about food has made me hungry. Anyway, don't forget we still have to sort out the details of the festival itself. I tune out the rest of the conversation as tiredness takes a stronger hold on me. Sayori's still her usual self, bubbling goofy. I guess some people never change. It brings a smile to my face. Although I was surprised to see her so dedicated, I always remembered her as the kind of person who just improvises things. Kinda like me actually. Oh, Ooh, okay. That close up. I didn't expect to see Sarah's face taking up my vision when I opened my eyes. Same here. Actually, I'm just gonna take a quick break as well. Because my voice is already cracking up, so... so let's actually do that, and then we'll be back in, let's say in 5 minutes again. So see you guys in a bit. Note to self, probably should have some water on hand when streaming, because I don't usually talk a lot when I'm playing, you know, off stream. I usually still make some side comments here and then, but yeah, especially a visual novel where it's expected that I will be talking a lot. Probably should have done that. Anyways, we are back, and Sayori is still up close on the screen here. So let's get right back to it. I nearly fall out of my chair. Yep, that was my reaction 5 minutes ago. Wake up, sleepyhead. Gee, Sayori, you scared me. The Sayori jump scare. Sorry. Hang on, I'm not sorry at all. Why were you napping? This is the literature club, not the napping club. Wait, our school has a napping club? Hey, don't try to change the subject, mister. The others won't like it if they catch you sleeping, you know. I don't want you getting in trouble. Ah, Sayori. You've not changed one bit. Huh? You always used to look out for me. Back when we used to hang out. I remember that. You still remember the time when we went on a bike ride to that park? It feels such like a long time ago. Hey, you're back, Sonic. Yeah, I actually also had a short break, so yeah. Yeah, I think I do actually. It was in the summer. You were talking about the time I fell off my bike and hurt my knee, right? Yeah, that one. You were in a lot of pain, but you were trying to act like it's no big deal. You were so silly you had to go get a band-aid. That memory makes me warm and fuzzy inside. The fact that I could tell straight away which memory she was talking about makes me wonder if we have a psychic bond or something. Nah, that's just your, you know, typical childhood connection. Good times. Good times. Indeed. Good times indeed. By the way, did you know you have a big toothpaste stain on your collar? Eh? No, I don't. She nervously picked at the stain with her hands and stand up to get a closer look at her. Wait a sec, your collar is sticking up a bit. Your hair doesn't look brushed either. Were you in a rush this morning? I can reach out and run my fingers down the messy part of her hair in a vain attempt to straighten it out. Your hair is really soft and smells faintly of cinnamon. Ooh. I'm probably making this worse. You really need to brush, Sayori. No, I don't. No, I don't. My hair's just naturally like this. Oh, especially at this times, you know, it's really hard to get a stylist, you know, hairstylist or a barber. So I'm probably one of those folks right now who has messy hair and it's all over the place. Which is partly why I didn't opt to do face cam on this stream. But anyways, moving on. I give up with her hair and try to wipe off the stain with my fingers. Much like with her hair, I'm not having much luck. Come on, Sayori, you can't fool me. I know I've not seen much of you over the past few years, but I still know you. I can tell when you've been in a rush. People wouldn't even notice these things. They wouldn't just say anything because they don't want to embarrass you. I give up with a stain and step back, looking at her blazer. But luckily for you, I'm not bothered about that. Also, why don't you button up your blazer? She shrugs. It was too stuffy the last time I tried it. With a sigh, I start to button it up. This CG. God, this takes us back. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does this kinds of things. I freeze. Now that I think about it, the situation is a little suggestive. Oh, good for you that you realized that you know, at least in this storyline. After all, my heads are very close to her chest. Ah, come on, Rance, get it together. You're just helping out a friend, that's all. Don't say that. There's nothing weird about this. If you say so. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. It makes me feel that nothing has really changed between us. Don't you think? Yeah, I guess. Why is this one button so hard to close? Hey, be careful! This is impossible. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. You know, if you actually button it, you'd probably have realized sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. Wait, what's so funny? Don't you see? It means my boobs got bigger again. Oh shit. How on earth I meant to I meant to reply to that. Jeez, Ayari. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look a bit better now. Seeing Sayori's blazer button up like that is weird. It's so stuffy. I told you. She quickly unbuttons it again. There goes all my hard work. Much better. Thank you for that though. Even though I preferred the blazer unbuttoned, it was really thoughtful of you to do this for me. Even though you were a bit of a meanie. I do try, you know. I'm sorry. I just wanted what's best of you, that's all. Just try to give yourself a bit more time in the morning, okay? Only if you promise to stop napping the club. She got me there. It's a deal. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Can't wait to read yours, Rance. Don't expect too much, Sayori. By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right? Don't worry, I'm not that much of a slacker. Ooh. I've got it right here in my bag. I raffled through some stray papers to pull out the page that I wrote my poem on. While I can't help but feel a little nervous, I had to admit that I'm excited now. Talking to these girls has really calmed my nerves, and now I'm just eager to share my poem. After all, judging by each girl's personality, I doubt that anyone would say anything nasty about it. Well, Natsuki, I don't know if she'd be unduly harsh though. She just seems like the type of person who enjoys ribbing on her friends. Either way, I hope they realize that I put hard work into it. I figured it'd only be fair to repair their warm welcome by showing effort in club activities. Now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out the poems. Sayori's on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a neat black composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. She's going to put us all to shame. Yeah. I have a terrible handwriting. So, and especially, writing things out of the pen is not really that much uncommon nowadays, but my penmanship never was really good in the first place, which is probably why, I'm more into computers now. I usually prefer to always have it, digitally, or have things printed out. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. Whom should I show my poem to first? You know what, let's go up the list here. Let's start with Monica. Yesterday she was eager to read my poem and I wanted her to know I'm putting in effort. Yeah, let's show it to the president first. Hey Rance, how have you been enjoying your time here? Yeah, definitely. probably sound like a broken record by now. No shit. But everyone's been pretty welcoming. Huh? Well, a broken record isn't so bad when we play something so nice. There's the original pose. I guess so. Anyway, since you're new and everything, feel free to bring up any question or concerns you might have. It's my duty as president to make sure that everything is perfect. I have to say that you've been doing a good job of that already. I doubt that I'll ever have anything to complain about. Either way, I'm also open to suggestions for the club as well. So don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. She says that, but it's gonna be a bit intimidating to try to criticize Monica, of all people. I really don't think that there's going to be anything I'll need to speak up about it either. One of the other girls will probably say something before I ever needed to. Natsuki definitely would. Now that's out of the way, feel free sharing your poem with me. Feel like sharing your poem with me? I mean, I don't really have a choice in the matter, do I? You shouldn't be thinking like that. Yeah, I was just joking. Kinda. It's alright, mans. I get that it's probably really awkward for you to share a creative work when you're just a beginner. That's true. Especially since the rest of us have a bit more experience than you do. That's an understatement. Don't worry though, we're all a little embarrassed today, you know? I don't think many people out there share their poetry on a regular basis. But it's the sort of thing that you get used to pretty quickly once you get it over with. Yeah, that's true. Indeed. I end my poem over with a sigh. Don't grade me too harshly. Be gentle. You'll be fine. I watch nervously as she quickly scans through my poem. Interesting poem, Rance. It has a very mellow, yet emotional feel to it. I didn't know that you were this in tune with your feelings, Rance. I can feel my Greeks going hotter at her teasing. You think? No need to feel so embarrassed about this. Poetry is a very personal thing, so it's not surprising to see you putting your raw emotions down on paper. Actually, your poem reminds me of something Sayori would write. Really? How so? I mean, you and Sayori are really good friends, right? It shouldn't be too far-fetched that for you two to write similarly. Well, I guess you could say we used to be good friends at least. We kind of drifted apart over the years, so I guess it surprises me that we could still have things like this in common. Club is pretty opportunity to become closer again then, don't you think? I guess so. Anyway, much like yours, Sayori writing tends to have a general feel to it. She often uses her words to quietly meander through her imagination and to explore different emotions. Most of the time, I find that she addresses happiness and sadness in equal amounts, creating a bittersweet tone. Wow, that's kind of unexpected of her. Maybe she's changed more throughout the years than I thought. I know, right? Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy the pain of tragedy as well? You know, sometimes you sound like Yuri when you talk about poetry. Eh? Really? Yeah, I guess you really like it, huh? You could say that. You'd really make me happy if you could get into poetry as well. No pressure, right? For real though, feel free to express different things and experiment. Maybe you'll find yourself writing in a way you never thought you would, just like Sayori does. Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a bit of different things before I settle in my own style. Yeah, that is actually true with anyone who's just starting out in writing. Give or take, you're gonna have, especially when you're just starting out and you don't know what to write, your tendency is to look at others' work and, try to do a Frankenstein, take bits and pieces of that. But over time, you're gonna end up developing your own writing style and tone. That's gonna be distinctively yours, and something that reflects, your overall personality as well. That's something that I've, gotten to learn once I started writing a lot. So there are some truth when it comes to, when it comes to topics like this, when it brings up in Doki Doki. And it'll still take a while before I'm completely comfortable sharing my writing. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I'd probably be more surprised if you immediately started writing in your own style. Yeah. Most people go through the same process that you're going through right now. Trying new things is the best way to find that kind of style that suits you after all. Anyway, when you talk to everyone about it, naturally they'll be a bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. After all, I know I am. That's also quite true. Whenever that you try to review someone else's writing, you tend to reflect, when you're trying to critique, you also try to, at least, it's taking it from the perspective in your own take of writing. So there's that too. But don't force yourself to write in some way just because someone else wants you to. You should try to focus on what you want to do. Feel free to Feel free to ask me for any help anytime though. I try to be as objective as possible when it comes to people about these topics. Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I feel that way, Always on duty as club president, eh? Well, let's get to reading then. Oh, that's a good tip. The box. I see, but I don't believe. A lone fingerprint, glistening on gleaming glass. Was it me? Was I always the one in the dark? I pound on the glass. My prison. Why? Why me? The pain jolts me back. The understanding pouring down like heavy rain. It's all a farce. My heart's on display. My life's but a script just playing away. The world out there had seemed so bright. It was so free. So many choices. So many potential. Maybe I could have had a chance. I realize now that there was never a chance. I was stuck in this box, and they, on the other side, chose for me. Ooh. Let's take some time to take a look at that. Just go through the poem one more time. I'm gonna let you guys read it for a bit. Makes you wonder what she meant by the box. It's a glass box. And is Monica still aware in this mod, I wonder? So, what do you think? I don't know how to say it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. I definitely get a certain kind of feeling from reading your poem, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. I can understand that. Just try to articulate it however you want. You can use metaphors outside of poetry, Well, when you put it like that, I don't know. I'd say your poem is a kind of Abstract? Very vague at least. Like, I can't tell what exactly you're talking about, but even so, I can feel what the speaker's feeling. Yeah, I think that describes my poem pretty well. Eh? Really? I do like my metaphors. Well, you'll probably be hard-pressed to find a poem without a metaphor, actually. Yeah, they're pretty covered in English class at least. The ability to convey emotions and concepts through words, describing things in a writer that might not have ever experienced before. I find that pretty powerful. When you write metaphorically, it allows the reader to focus on the emotions in the poem. I guess it kind of opens up for the reader to have their own interpretations. Exactly! It's kinda when people can diverge from the creator's original intent to find their own meaning in a work of art. Is she being meta right now? I think she's being meta, considering that this is a mod of the original Doki Doki. Yeah. What was your original intent then? I think it'd be more fun if you try to figure it out yourself. Monica. I wonder. Eh? That just makes me more curious now. Maybe I'll tell you one day. But for now, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem, or anything for that matter, when you get too fixated in a specific point, but if you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. So the best thing to do is just force yourself to get something down on the paper and then tidy up later. That is true. And also, I think that's the same line from the original game. Another way to think of it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. Yep. So just move your hand and write whatever's in your heart. Easier said than done. I get what she's trying to say though. It's better to look down on your words with fresh eyes after you've gotten something down sometimes. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Whom should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Natsuki. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? What I mean is, it's just kinda average. Doesn't really evoke any emotions. So, kinda bland for your tastes? Natsuki fires her eyebrows at me. My taste? What's that supposed to mean, huh? Oh, nothing. Well, anyways, guess I'll show you my poem now. Not that you'll like it or anything. Oh, jeez. Sometimes, some folks are winners, some only lose. Some are go-getters, some only cruise. Sometimes we try hard and give it our all. Sometimes we give up. What else can we do? I like how the music just makes it in between versions. Told you you'd hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. Be honest. What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. I genuinely like the poem. Really? Yeah, it's simple, but it's pretty effective. Finally, someone who gets it! People in high school think poetry has to be so formal and vague. But they don't realize that simple writing is just as effective, if not more. The reader shouldn't have to search for the meaning, that's just stupid. Besides, the simpler writing, the more emphasis on wordplay. In some cases, that is true. Especially the kind of writing that I do. So, yeah, I'm with Natsuki on this one. Like how I made some of the lines start with some. Yeah, I noticed that. Make the last couplet seem more powerful. Yes, that's exactly what I was going for. Well, good job then. Huh. Didn't expect that from the youngest of the club, did ya? Yeah, guess not. Whom should I show my poem to next? Let's go with Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh, goodness, sorry. I know what I want to convey, but I need to find the right words. I understand. Take your time. Okay, I think I know what I want to say. Do you have any prior writing experience? To be honest, not really. Is it that obvious? I don't mean to be rude, but I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I can't help but notice it's been several minutes and we haven't gotten anywhere. Yuri seems to be incredibly introverted, well, it makes her a long time to warm up to you people. It must take her a long time, yeah. Don't worry about it. We all start somewhere, right? What were you saying? Right. I just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures. Couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece. It's like Yuri's a totally different person once she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly. Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. Sounds like you're well versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I take a look at what you've written? Oh goodness, of course! Please, let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself, it's kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Here we go. Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, knocking down blankets made of want. Slender string pieces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Ever so heavy, ever so heavy. I think I've misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please, don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. Reminds me, now I'm just picturing tumbleweed when I'm reading this. Yeah, a picture of tumbleweed. I'm sorry if my writing's a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I just want to get my thoughts down. It's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking that at all. Are you sure? It seems like it seemed to take you a while to read it. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often, but it's really nice when I do. Your writing is actually quite pretty. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice, or vice versa. It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since this is the first time we're sharing, I thought it'd be easier to share. That makes sense. You mind telling me what it's about though? I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing. Oh, it's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly. I see. It's supposed to be a cursory glance. It might not be obvious. But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you look at it a little deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines, compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost to the past, in a sense of plaintive longing that comes with it. What? Let's review that, shall we? Oh yeah, okay, now I get it. Huh? That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. But thanks for the compliment. Hopefully during your time here, your understanding of poetry will grow, and these things will come to you naturally. I'll do my best. Thanks for sharing with me, Yuri. Of course. Alright, lastly, we have Sayori. Wow, Ernst, this is so good. Seriously, this is your first poem? Huh? It's not that good, jeez. Seriously, it is. I love it. I have no idea you were such a good poet. Alright, Sayori route it is. We're going to Sayori route in this playthrough. Okay. Sayori, you're overreacting a bit. It's really nothing special. Trust me, it is. How did you write it? Huh? What do you mean? Like, what did you think of while you wrote this? This is gonna be a bit weird, but I thought of you. She gives me a brief look of disbelief, a pink blush on her cheeks. Me? Yeah, hey, it's not like in a weird way or anything. Oh, jeez. I just saw the words that reminded me of you and went along with that. It just felt kind of natural doing it that way, I guess. Well, if it works, it works. Looks like this club's going to be the best place for you. As much as I like her praise, it's not exactly helpful. I'm no master of poetry, and I kinda need to know how to get better. Yuri's opinion was way more constructive than this. Well, I'm glad you like it, Sayori. Good to know I'm not totally over my head here. She looks for a moment, not seeing anything. There's a few moments of odd silence. Hurt to Sayori? She jumps slightly. Ah, sorry. I'm just not used to seeing you around again, that's all. To have you in a club, writing poems, it's lovely though. It just takes a little getting used to. Ah, yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest, but I'm enjoying it here so far. That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? I'm not very good though. Only one way to find out. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through the blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you miss me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That last line, that's very Sayori. Well, what did you think? I hesitate as I answer. It's not that it was a bad poem. In fact, it was great. I'm just really inexperienced with poetry, especially feedback. It's really you. Hey, we agree. What's that supposed to mean? As in, the poem just really reminds me of you. It made me feel really good inside. Really? Yeah, I had no idea what to expect as this is my first time reading your poetry. But the way this was written, I don't know, it feels really wholesome and cheery. Like you are. I also really like the last line. Trust you of all people to include breakfast in their poems. We had the same thoughts, man. We had the same thoughts. Hey, I wasn't eating when I wrote. Sarah stopped speaking immediately as if she had let something slip. Oh, so you wrote this poem this morning? Huh? No. Well, maybe. Forgot to write it last night. Well, at least we know where your inspiration comes from. Eggs and toast. Well, I suppose if it sounds silly but it works, then it isn't silly. Either way, thanks for showing me your poem, Sayori. It was really good. I'm happy you think so. Anyways, next time I won't forget. Tomorrow's poem will be even better. I'll hold you to that. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was surprisingly fun. That was surprisingly fun, albeit a bit stressful. I already knew it wouldn't be able to write to the quality of the girls, but I tried my best. Everyone here is incredibly talented. Well, all the girls at least. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting again. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. Oh boy. They gingerly exchanged sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As I watch, Natsuki breezes through Yuri's poem, her eyes skipping over the words. Meanwhile, Yuri stares at the paper in her hands, smiling sadly. Natsuki quickly hands Yuri her poem back. Here, I'm done. Already? Yeah, it's not like it was super hard to read. I'm not illiterate, you know. Huh? It was hard to me to understand at least. I just want to make sure you caught all of the figurative language that I employed. Yeah, I did. It was fancy. Ah, thanks. However, I believe you'd enjoy it more if you'd look deep into it. I enjoyed it plenty already. Anyways, are you finished with my poem then? Yes. Yours is cute. Cute? Didn't you learn anything from our conversation yesterday? You look shocked, regret seeping into her expression. Seems like both could still hold their own prejudices despite whatever common ground they have. How can it be cute? You're standing there thinking I haven't read your poem when it's really you haven't read my poem. It's clearly about the push and pull between giving up and trying hard. I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. Well, maybe you should look deeper into my poem, because I used that type of language on purpose. I see. But if I may give you a suggestion, these more involved subject matters may be better suited for more complex diction. The art of poetry is deeply intertwined with, look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. Writing this way doesn't make you look cool or smart, okay? It just makes you look super pretentious. If you write with a thesaurus open next to you, you're just going to alienate everyone. In some situations, that is true. Using all these big words to make up lack of depth. Poetry isn't about impressing people, so you can just stop. Holy crap! I stare wide-eyed at Mark and Sayori, who have now fallen silent. They stare vacantly, looking unsure of what to do. I'm guessing that they don't usually have many arguments in the club. Although tensions between Natsuki and Yuri already seemed kind of high. Lack of depth. Yeah, that's right. So if I can give you some suggestions now, excuse me? I appreciate the offer, but I really must ask, what makes you believe that I'll accept your advice after you've been so rude to me? Huh? Rude? That was just blunt honesty. Do you ever consider the other people don't hold the same opinions as you? What are you trying to say? Do I really need to spell it out for you? Yeah, you do. I want to see if you're really going there. The irony. I dare you to say it. Yuri gives a small laugh of disbelief. I must thank you, Natsuki. I've never been this angry in my life. It's actually giving me the courage to speak up. Oh shit. Is this why you're angry all the time? Oh shit. Guys, we shouldn't... This doesn't involve you! Sayori, please don't rob me of my moment. So this is your moment to shine or something? Strange thing to take pride in, don't you think? No. It's my moment to finally speak my mind. While I still have the strength to. Yuri... Natsuki, have you ever realized how selfish you are? She only seems to be overpowering everyone else in the room. What? Everything always needs to go to you. Everything always needs to go to your way. Needs to go your way. You always jump into conclusions and make rash decisions without regard for the consequences. And that's never your fault, is it? You don't know me. No? You don't know me either. And yet you spoke as if you knew everything about me. Quite simply, you don't. The very fact you think that your blunt honesty was incredibly rude just goes to show how narrow-minded you truly are. Oh boy. Grab those popcorn. Grab the popcorn. Seizing our moment, Yuri boldly carries on, disdain dripping from each word. I know it must be a difficult concept for you to understand, but the whole world doesn't revolve around you and your manga. Oh shoot. So tell me, why should I take advice from someone who can only see their own perspective? Everyone knows it. Monica? Sayori? And even Rance. Thanks for the heads up, Penis Gamer X Gamer. Actually, I'm not sure if you're referring to whether, because I do have the censor option turned on in the settings. So, still, I do appreciate the heads up. I will probably take note of that once we're closer to that part of the game. Do you remember how hostile you were to Rance when you first joined us? She has a point. I wasn't even hostile. You haven't had a new member in a long time. Sorry, not sorry for keeping on my toes. And that's how I talk to everyone, not just to Rans. Again, she has a point. Am I supposed to change the whole personality to cater how you think I should be? If Rans has a problem with my jokes, he can tell me. You don't get to speak for him. Yuri closes her eyes and shakes her head, carrying on as if she didn't hear the outburst. Do you really expect a new member to be able to speak up so easily? Not everyone is unafraid of being British, being a British cretin as you. Oh god. Catfight. The rest of us were so excited to have a new member, but did that thought ever cross your mind? No, you just let your own selfish thought dictate your behavior. Selfish? They weren't You could have scared it off. That might have been what you wanted, but what about the rest of us? I just explained myself for God's sake, but per usual, you aren't listening. You know, for someone who's been writing about how narrow-minded I am, you're pretty intolerant yourself. There! I used the big word. Do you sound like Shakespeare yet? Am I worthy of your attention now? Ooh. Ouch. Both girls really have their claws out. Indeed. Also, Monica and Yuri didn't have any issue with me yesterday. It's just you. Of course they did, Natsuki. They just didn't say anything. Monica's too responsible and Sayori's too kind. So why don't we ask Grants then? As the more unbiased spectator. Oh shit. Fine. Grants is right. Me or Yuri? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? I don't even know who they wanted me to decide on at this point. Should I just ignore all the personal stuff and I just talk about their poetry? That's what started their argument after all. Well, it's not like I'm a good judge of writing quality given I'm just a beginner. I don't think it would be fair for me to take either side. Take either side either. Okay. Especially since I'm new here. Maybe I should defer to one of the club leaders. So of course that's going to be... I'm gonna... Let's save first. And yes, X Gamer, I actually did already mention that this isn't a sequel to Doki Doki. It's pretty much obvious. So far, the first few hours of gameplay, it's pretty much the same as Act 1 of the Literature Club. So we pretty much haven't seen the newer things that were introduced in this mod. Actually, it's just that one scene with Sakurai and Emi that we've seen, and of course a little bit of revisions. So I don't think people would be considering this as a sequel to the original Literature Club. I would probably consider this more of a, a rewrite, should we say. Yeah, I know. Some people are saying that this is a sequel, but pretty much once you open up the game, it pretty much is out there that it's not related to Team Salvador anyway. But that being said, I'm obviously gonna go with Sayori with this one. Also, I got nervously as a bit of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge for this. After all, I'm new, so I'm painfully aware how weak my voice sounds. Neither girl looks impressed. Wow, real help you are, Natsuki. Let me guess, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. You're being so rude. You're a broken record, Yuri. Shut up. God, this too. So you're finally realizing how insolent you are. You got there in the end. Well done. You are such a... Oh shit! She was about to say it. She was about to say it. Stop. We're all standing to silence. I've never heard Sayori angry before, and even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger in Sayori's face is replaced by a flood of tears, the anger giving way to sadness. Guys, enough of this. Please. You're tearing apart this club. Please, don't do this. I love this place so much, and you guys are both my friends. I hate it when people fight. It's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter. You're both unique, and that's what counts. Yuri and Natsuki both looking incredibly ashamed of themselves. I guess neither of them expected their argument would hurt Sayori so much. That one raging fire has been snuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers. I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know the others do as well. Monica and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face. Aww. And Yuri, I'm amazed how complex and deep your poems are. They're really in-depth. But there's no need to argue which style is better. You can't really compare them anyway. Depends on what mood you're in. She's right, guys. Something you're just in the mood for something simple. Sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies. People like a variety of things. Yeah. Doki Doki alone. Obviously, people have their preferences on which to choose. Oddly enough, all the three choices are in the screen right now. So there's that. That also applies to any fan community that you may be in. Be it in a video game, or like in music, in anime. People have their own tastes. So I don't think that there is not much preferences there. That's just how it is. And also, to answer your question, Penasex Gamer, believe it or not, this is my first ever Doki Doki content on my channel, so don't be surprised. This is my first ever Doki Doki content, and I just, got into it very recently, partly because of the quarantine. I am aware of what Doki Doki Literature Club is since, when it was released 2 years ago. There's a lot of people who played it, but I've never really had the time to jump into it until very recently. So, yeah, just a short story on that. I do appreciate your message, though. I'm not sure, I'm not planning to be solely dedicated in Doki Doki. I'm just experimenting. In a way, I'm actually branching out with this kind of content because the last time that I streamed was Project Diva, which is, rhythm game. There are some people who may not watch that. And 2 streams earlier was Pokemon when I was playing Pokemon Shield. So I do have some variety here. But yeah, don't be too surprised if there's not much people watching right now. I'm actually just surprised that there are some people who, are taking the time to not just watch, but also jump into the chat. So yeah, like I said, over time we'll have some more people hopefully jumping in, and I'm glad to have that happen. I'm actually glad that there's a lot more engagement with just Doki Doki alone. So more or less, I think that's a good sign. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Again, that's true. Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't want an action movie for the laughs, would you? I look over to Sayori and give her a reassuring smile. She returns with a watery smile of her own and rubbing her tears away. You said it, Rent. She turns to face Yuri and Natsuki once more. Now, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean. But I know neither of you meant it. And thanks for the subscription to the channel. Hopefully we'll be doing more of this in the coming days. Just an FYI for everyone who's watching, as far as streaming schedule goes, I really don't have much in set. I know it's pretty recommended, so just letting you guys know, I'll most likely stream during the weekends because it's been really hectic, with my day job during the weekdays, especially with, a lot of stuff, businesses starting right back up, so not much time to do streaming during the weekdays, so yeah. Neither of you are narrow-minded. Although it would be nice if you could like each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try doing that a little? Please? For me? For the club? I can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes the right time to use them. Sure, whatever. I'll try. Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor. You're tight, sir. You're tight? Oh my god. Okay, you're right, Sayori. I'll almost make more of an effort. And yes, thanks. Hopefully, we'll hopefully get some more people to sub soon. Again, this is just my first. This is the first ever appearance of Doki Doki on my channel. And so far, I'm really liking the reception so far. So I think it's a good sign that I'll be doing more of that going forward. Needless to say, I don't want to have it dominate my channel. I'll still do I'll still do some Vocaloid stuff with Project Diva, and I know Mikitop Wonder is also going to be coming out soon. So once that is, we'll also be exploring that. But yeah, glad to see that there's a lot of people responding to Doki Doki content. What? Natsuki still looks quite defiant, as though expecting another insult from Yuri. I apologize for what I said. Your style has its own merits. Natsuki blinks as though slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Your style is... She reverts her eyes downwards once more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you write pretty well. I should have said that stuff. Me neither. There's an awkward silence. That's much better, guys. Thank you for putting your differences aside. We all really appreciate it. I'll go and make some tea. She rushes off as Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over Noanika. She hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me. I shouldn't be the one who said all of that. Why didn't you then? I wince as the words leave my mouth. They sounded more accusatory than I would have liked. Well, I know I'm the leader in around this club, but I'm not the greatest with people. Yeah, same. I found if she isn't great with people, how can she run? She must have caught the confusion in my face when she hastened to explain. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm fine with people. It's just that they're drama that I can't really deal with. Well, that's why you have Sayori, right? The vice president. She's an excellent vice president, able to deal with conflict much better than I can. Yeah, conflict resolution is definitely a skill. And again, someone from me who does customer service, for a living, it's definitely something that you definitely have to develop. Which is pretty embarrassing, at least for me. That should have been my duty to deal with, not hers. I don't blame you though, seriously. It was pretty tough to get involved. I could barely speak up. True, but that's exactly the sort of thing that a president should have been able to deal with. Nah, come on, Monica, don't say it like that. You and Suri just have different strengths, that's all. I always thought of her as a ditzy sometimes, but she definitely has a knack for social situations. Definitely, I'm very grateful to have her as my vice president. Well, both of you do a really good job running this place. I know that's a bit of an early assessment, but you know, first impressions and all. She smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. You're too kind, Rans. I'm glad you brought me along to the club. I really do hope you stick around. Don't worry, I will. Monica seems like a genuine person, and she makes a great president regardless of what she might think. Hopefully I'll be able to properly get to know her during the school year. Okay everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you feel about sharing your poetry? I noticed that she carefully avoids mentioning the argument that just occurred. It was a lot of fun. Some moments were worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Hans, how about you? I actually really enjoyed myself. It seems like I do like expressing myself through poetry. A lot more than I initially thought. Everyone looks intently at me. The girl smiling at me. Aww. It was really cool getting to see everyone. Different writing styles. Oh, it's good to see everyone writing different writing styles. That's awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And hopefully you learn something from us too. So your poems will turn out even better. Yeah. I think to myself a bit as I began to pack up. Today I managed to bit a little more about the kinds of poems that everyone likes. But any luck, I'll be able to learn more about the girls as individuals through their themes and messages. And I to myself, turning to see Yori. Hey Sayori, ready to walk home? Sure. Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. As we leave the code room, Sayori turns back to wave with the girls. I do the same. Natsuki smiles and quickly looks away to act like she doesn't care. Typical tsundere. Yuri awkwardly smiles and nods. And as expected from the school idol, Monica gives a friendly grin and waves back. And, yeah. I think we can continue a little bit more. So, yeah, about what happened earlier. Eh? What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? I remember you told me yesterday that they sometimes bicker, but are all their arguments normally that bad? I feel guilty as I ask her, as I know she doesn't like talking about conflict. There's a slight dip in cheeriness of her voice as she replies. Oh yeah. Yeah, go ahead, NSX Gamer. It's actually, 4:38 where I am right now, so probably get some food as well. I'm gonna be wrapping up soon, so I've been streaming for well over 3 hours now, and this is just the first part of the game. We haven't really dived through on the mod itself, so we'll probably do that next time. No, not at all. They have their differences, but it's the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. They're both wonderful people, I promise. You don't hate them or anything, do you? Oh, not at all. It's only normal for people to argue, I guess. I was just curious. After all, you know them better than I do. Sayori lets out a relieved sigh. You know, Rans, it's been so nice seeing you again. I didn't really think we'd get to spend much time with one another again. Yeah, tell me about it. It's been really fun hanging out again. I don't really know when we started drifting or why. Guess it was just life coming between us? She nods, looking a little reflective. Still, I'm glad you let me join your club. I'm not going to lie. At first, I was a bit doubtful when you told me it was about literature. But hey, I guess it just goes to show how you shouldn't be a judge of a good book by its cover. That is true. She giggles and I frown. Did I say something funny? Nice spawn. Did you even realize? Huh? Pawn? Ah, you meant about the book comment. Oh, and this is a literature club. Geez, looks like the club's really starting. It's really starting to rub off on me, isn't it? Yeah, something was missing there. Might need to patch that. Sari might be known for a bit of an airhead, but sometimes she can really notice things that others don't. I wonder what's really like inside her head. You haven't changed at all, Rams. You really know how to make me laugh. I blushed slightly. I never really known how to react of that compliment, especially when it comes to someone of the opposite sex. I'm glad I'm still able to do that. I'll be honest though, I didn't think I'll make so many new friends by joining the club. Well, they're really a nice bunch. I'm not surprised. Yeah, pretty warm welcome. She nods contentedly. Anyway, let's see what the future holds. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, see you tomorrow. These girls are all interesting characters, aren't they? Yeah, different personalities with a variety of writing styles. Yet, they're all united under the same club. I really wonder how Monica found all of them. In just 2 days, I feel like I made progress with each member. Getting to know Yuri and Natsuki, actually getting to talk to Monica a little bit, and of course, reuniting with an old friend. I never would have guessed this would all come from joining the club, but hey, I'm not complaining. Let's just hope my writing improves over time so I can write poems to a standard more like theirs. Speaking of which, there's work to be done tonight. Let's do this. It's cool that they added that bit. Oh, you're back. But I'm actually gonna wrap up this one. Streaming for well 3.5 hours already, so I'm pretty much at my limit here. So I'm gonna leave it here. So I'm gonna save it here. So probably here's what I'm planning to do. It does look like that there's a lot of people looking forward to Doki Doki. I know for Doki Doki Blue Skies, you know, it just came out, so there's probably a lot of people also playing it. So probably yeah. Considering that this is just the second poem, I'm pretty sure that I'm still I'm still at the early stages of the game. And this is just me judging by what was on the original game itself. So considering that this is more of an expanded one, we're definitely in the league's way to go. So yeah, we're gonna end things here. In the meantime, so on that note, I'm gonna get myself some food, and for everyone that that actually dropped by and also, you know, chatted along. I know that there wasn't really a lot of people, and I know that there were some viewers also who were, you know, kind of afraid to also drop by in the chat because, you know, there's not much people. You know, that's totally fine. You know, I'm really happy that there are some people who are also watching to the stream. That really goes to show, you know, how great the Doki Doki community is actually. Again, I think I really need to emphasize this. I'm just relatively new. Even though Doki Doki has been a while, you know, the original game has been out 2 years ago, I've only been able to spend time on it. Just actually, you know, if I'm really being completely honest, just this month, and that's partly because with what's been happening in the quarantine, you know, there's more free time. But yeah, what I'm planning to do next is probably I'll probably live stream Doki Doki again next time. You know, I was actually originally planning to play Persona 4 Golden, but I just remembered how Atlas can be strict when it comes to, you know, streaming the game, especially with Persona 5. So I'll probably put that in the back burner for a while, and I don't know if I'm gonna stream again, because if I'm gonna be live streaming, that's gonna be for next week. So probably what I'm do is, if I do have the time in between work to play Doki Doki, I'll just record it and then I'll just upload it on YouTube. For those of you who've been watching on Twitch, you know, I'll just give you guys a heads up. I do have a Twitter if you guys want to follow me there as well. It's pretty much on the lower left-hand side of the screen. If you also want guys to also get updated on what I'll be planning to do next as far as video content goes, feel free to also do that. But for now, thank you so much for stopping by and for watching me play Doki Doki Blue Skies. And until the next video or live, as you know, Panis X Gamer has said here. But definitely this is not going to be the last time I'll be, you know, talking about Doki Doki. It's a good one. It's definitely a good game. It's a good mod, I would say. The original game, you know, it's really good as well. You know, I really like the different approach on this, but having it play as it's, you know, like an actual dating sim, you know, it kind of just redeems what were our initial expectations of it. So I'm glad that we had something like that. You know, I know that there are also a lot of mods out there that also aim to do that, but I do see that there were a lot of people in the community that were looking forward to Blue Skies. So I'm glad that I just jumped into the community at the right time to be able to see this just get released and to be able to experience playing it. Overall, it's actually been a while since I played a visual novel, so yeah. That being said, we'll see you guys next time. That's it for me here. Have a good one, and stay safe, everyone.